Hi, I'm Gwen.
And I'm Deonta B.
And we want to welcome you to Gwen's Business Corner with Deonta B, where we interview guests that are entrepreneurs, business professionals, and entertainers that's going to assist you in leveling up your business. Hey, I forgot my script, but okay, Miss Rosalee. So today we're talking about something coming that goes on in the business industry, especially now. One, you build up 7-figure business, 6-figure businesses in one area, and then you transition to one, teaching other people how to do it and making an extension of that business. So today's guest is
the Rosalee Henry, and she is the founder of Mothers Helping Hands. Love the name too, by the way.
Hey, Miss Rosalee.
Hey, Gwen.
Welcome to the corner, girl.
Yes. It's been a long time coming. I'm here.
You are here.
I'm here.
We're glad to have you here. Well, first of all, you got Mothers Helping Hands. That is a beautiful name. And you specialize in maternal care, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, so talk about, because now you're doing RedRose VA staffing service. So tell us, how did you transition from building a 7-figure business with Mothers Helping Hands to, transition to the RedRose VA staffing service, and tell us what that is.
Okay, so the transition was not hard to do. I'm passionate about the maternal community, and because of that, I'm also passionate about the people who are doing the work, the birth workers. So for me, starting RedRose VA Staffing is to help the people who are in that industry to grow and scale their business. But not only grow and scale their business, is doing it in a way that you don't have to make all those mistakes before you get to that point. So RedRose VA Staffing comes in and help you set up the ground, the foundation. And that started out of the things that I'd gone through in my business while running Mothers Helping Hands at first. The struggles that gone through, the challenges. And I don't want anyone else to have to go through that.
I love that.
Thank you.
Because a lot of business owners, they don't be worrying about the foundation. And that's the thing that allows you to scale and to stay in business longevity.
You have to have the foundation.
Exactly, absolutely. So let's go back to where it all started, Mothers Helping Hands. How did your experience as a mother influence when you set it up? How did that influence your setup with Mothers Helping Hands?
Well, I'm a teenage mom and the oldest of 5. My youngest brothers are twins, and I'm 12 years older. So I'm always around babies. I'm always in the caregiving field. So with me starting with Mothers Helping Hands, I was in banking, and I transitioned from banking because I was so burnt out. I didn't want to keep encouraging people to go in more debts. Someone come into the bank, you clearly see that they cannot even manage your checking account, right? But no, they want you to sell them a credit card. And I couldn't do that. So it wasn't the time where I was with Wachovia Bank and they were merging, where First Union and Wachovia was merging. We didn't even have enough information to give the client as to what was going on, but yet still you were pressuring us now to sell more. And I'm like, I didn't sign up for this as a salesperson, right? So I had a friend who was a nanny at the time, and she said, you love babies, why don't you become a nanny? And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, because I do love babies. I'm like a natural caregiver. And I did my research, find an agency, and I signed up, and that's where it started, just like transitioning to being a nanny. But while working with this client, she had another baby, and I realized that being a nanny is different from being a newborn care specialist, right? Because a nanny is someone who the client is going to tell you what to do.
Right.
A newborn care specialist, you're going in and educating the client as to how to care for the newborn. So I did my research and I become a newborn care specialist. But while in that, now I realize, oh, you know what? Moms need care. Moms need help. The postpartum period is so special and fragile and important. And that's when I become a postpartum doula.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm the type of person where I see a need and I just create the solution, so that's what entrepreneurs do.
Right.
I was just going to say, that's the definition of entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's what we do.
And I just think, like, a lot of entrepreneurs don't, like, I be thinking, like, do you really know what the definition is for being an entrepreneur, like you're solving a problem.
Exactly.
Right, and then it has risk in there. Like you got to take risk.
Definitely.
So it's not going to go just how you want it to go.
No.
So since we're talking about risk, tell us some of the challenges that you faced in your early days of running your business. Because you say you're trying to teach other people how to build their foundation. So what are some of those challenges that you faced, that you learned from?
So like I said, I started out as a nanny. Then I pivoted into become a newborn care specialist, then a postpartum doula. I didn't have a blueprint as to run a business, right? I just saw a need. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I was making money. I was traveling. I was doing all these things while making money. Then I started my company in 2012, which is Mothers Helping Hands. I didn't have a plan. Again, I didn't have a blueprint. I was just getting all these referrals because of all the great job work I was doing, the services I was providing. Clients were just referring me to other clients. So I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to make a business out of this. So I created Mothers Helping Hands, and then I built my team around it. But my challenge was delegating, because this is my baby, right? I was getting all these reviews and all these great things. I didn't want anyone coming and mess up my thing, right? So it was hard for me to delegate. So that was my challenge, not knowing how to delegate. Even though I had a team who was competent, I did not know how to delegate. So that was my biggest challenge.
Yeah, that's my challenge still today. I ain't gonna even lie.
So you just brought us to my next question. So share with us a memorable moment from you learning the value of delegation and building systems, because we all know that you get taught from that.
Whoa. So my big aha moment came when, now being a postpartum doula, making money, traveling, growing my business, and then I decided now to pivot into something else, right? I wanted now to go into medical staffing, total different thing. So I hired a coach, because I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to go through this again by myself. So I hired a coach, and she said to me, Rosalee, I want you to list everything you do on a daily basis, from the moment you wake up until the time you go to bed. I want to list everything to her. We had our meeting, and I was so excited, you know, hey, got it going on. Right? And she said to me, she read everything, and she looked up, at me. It was a Zoom meeting, and she said, I'm going to be frank with you. I'm like, sure. She said, you're not the CEO of your company. You're the scheduler recruiter. I was like, what? I was livid. I was mad. I was like, what? And she said, based on all that you're doing, you're putting out fires. That's not your job. Your job is to be doing this, 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 this. And I'm like, okay, I calm down. I have to get off my high horse, because I'm like, what? I'm making all this money and I'm not the CEO. At this time, we have like 7 people in the office working. We have how many people in the field? I was like, okay. And she, walked me through it. I'm like, okay, these are the things I need you to do. And things just took off from there. Just took off from there.
It's a lot.
It is.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's just a lot. Just even thinking about what you just said, like, it just took me back. Like, baby, I just think about my daily rotation as a business owner. Like, we really a lot of times have to work so much in our business and not own our business.
And this is something I tell my clients, that there are 2 things you cannot do in your business at the same time and be successful, and is work in your business and on your business. You cannot do both at the same time. You have to make sure that you have a team that you can trust and who you can delegate to. And we cannot do that, though, if we don't have our back end set up. So that's where RedRose came in. Now we're teaching people how to set up your SOPs.
So let's talk about SOPs. So first off, again, I want to make sure that our audience is truly educated on, when we throw terms out here, they might not know exactly what they are. So let's start there. Like, first, tell us what an SOP is, because I know, but the audience might not know. And tell us why you think they're important for every business to have, especially if they're trying to scale.
So SOPs are standard operating procedures. SOPs are the GPS for your business. So think about somebody your girlfriend call you like, hey, meet me at this club, right? And they just tell you where the club is. You cannot just go there. You're going to put it in your GPS for it to take you there. It's the same thing with your business. it is important to have your system set up. Everything, every aspect of your business. You should have a system set up when you're onboarding a worker, how they even come to your front door.
Right.
What's the next step?
I got one. My next step is I was gonna say, they're greeted at the door. Hi, welcome to Expert Tax Service. Then they're asked to sign in. I got stuff from stuff, so it's very important.
It is important. Like someone is I said earlier that they're able to go on vacation, they're able to do things, and you may say, how can you do that when you have a business? But because they have this system and processes set up, so somebody else now can come in behind them and carry on that work, and nothing get left out. You cannot grow and scale without having system and processes in place. Because as CEOs, we have everything in our head.
Absolutely.
Right? And because we know how to do it, we just assume that everybody else does. Right? And then we get frustrated because we now tell someone, okay, I need to do this, and then you go back. And this is me. This is something that happened to me. I remember one day I had this lady working with me, and I walked out and I gave her one task, and I went back in, and I'm like, oh my God, this part is missing. And I come back out, and she looked at me and she said, Miss Rosalee, what exactly do you want me to do? And that really hit me. And then I realized that, hey, you need to get your steps all listed out, so she can know exactly what needed to do.
Yeah, I love that, because I think that's our most common problem as entrepreneurs, especially like strong entrepreneurs. Like, everything in our head, and we expect everybody we hire to know what we want them to do just because we know. Yeah. So you hit
and sometimes it's not even in our business, in our personal life. My husband would say to me, "You expect me to know what you want? You expect me to know if you don't tell me." So it's across the board.
Right.
Across the board.
So let's talk about it, because we know healthcare is booming. So we just talked about SOPs. Why is it so important when it comes to maternal and community health? Because we know, when you get in that field, it's a whole different, another ball game when it comes to SOPs.
Wow, that is so very important in the community and maternal health industry. Because first thing, you have to think about HIPAA compliance.
Right.
So you have to make sure that your team that you're onboarding knows everything that needs to be done and done correctly. Because you cannot just tell someone, "Oh, we're gonna get a new client," but if you don't have your onboarding processes set up so they know exactly what to do, you're gonna lose clients, number one, because that client is gonna be frustrated. You have to make it easy to do business with your client. Make it easy for your clients to do business with you. But if you don't have your onboarding set up correctly, your team is not going to know what to do, and things are going to get left.
Absolutely.
All the way to collecting your money. If you don't have that part set up, you're going to lose money.
All right. Now, even to go into like refunds, like, do you have a refund policy? If you make an error, how are you going to deal with that error that you made?
Yes.
Like, it's all of that. So I totally agree on that. Yep. So you talked earlier about at one point when you had 7 employees, but within the last 2 years, you grew your team up to 20 employees. So you have the experience of working with a team, and we always say, and you said here, like, in order for you to grow your business, you have to have a team. But when people get teams, they don't know what to do with the teams. So what is some advice that you can give to people who are looking to, hire a team, and what are some of those first team members you should hire?
Okay, so the 7 people that I was talking about was 7 in-staff people, not people in the field.
Okay.
So those were just my office staff I was mentioning to. But bringing it on a team, first you have to identify what your needs are before you bring a team on. Then you have to have solid job description, so you know for sure these are the people I need, and these are their rules. These are what you're looking for, the qualification. You have to have their duties listed. And then you have to make sure that you have your SOPs in place, so when you bring those people on, they're trained properly. Because if not, they're going to get frustrated and they're going to leave. You're going to have a revolving door. So those are the things that you have to make. Also, you have to make sure that people you're hiring are, they have to understand your mission, vision, and your culture. And you have to make sure that's also important to them. They also align with them. Because this is your baby. And you're going to bring someone on who doesn't care about anything else other than a paycheck, it's not going to work. You have to make sure that somebody is going to come in and align with everything. So the culture within your office team, within your field team, make it where people are going to want to come to work, want to work with you. You have to care about your workers. You have to care about your team, because without them, you don't have a business. So you cannot just care about your client. And that's the reason why I started RedRose, because I want to make an impact in the maternal and community health industry. I cannot just care about the client who are paying me. I have to care about the workers who are going in to care for the client.
Nugget.
So in your staffing service, do you train like other staff members for particular companies, or do you just send, like, how does that work? Like, when it comes to staffing, are you just creating the process procedures, or are you sending staff members out? Like, what is the dynamics of your actual staffing service?
So we do both. So we have the outsourcing part of the company where we actually build out SOPs for them. We build out their CRM, we build out their lead generation, the email marketing, all that. But we also have individual where we hand it off to the client, we provide them with a virtual person who can assist them to maintain it. Because as CEO, we have to make sure that we are doing the things that will bring the money in. We cannot be in our business doing, like me, scheduling, recruiting,
Right.
when you could be out there networking, bringing the business to grow and scale your business. So we provide both.
Yeah.
So how do you feel like this has changed with having this automation change? How do you feel like it has changed when it comes to small businesses that have limited resources when they operate?
Well, if the pandemic hasn't taught us anything, I don't know how we're going to learn, right? So we have to get away from somebody have to physically be in the offices all the time. And there's statistics that show that when you outsource, you can cut back at least anywhere between 20 and 30% on your profit margin. You increase your profit margin by then, because you don't have to pay for the overhead. You don't have to have an office. You don't have to pay for equipment. You take off the stress of people actually have to drive into work. So now you have more production. And then for us, like, if you're doing project-based, that person don't have to be on the clock the same time where you are, you're there.
Right.
And you just have to trust your workers. So it is a big saving. If you think about it, Amazon doing it, Google doing it, all those big companies are doing it. So we have to change our mindset and to stop thinking that someone have to actually always be in front of you to work. It doesn't always have to be like that way.
So you said you throwing out terms that a lot of small business owners should know, but I want them to kind of understand based off exactly what you're saying in like layman terms, right? So for instance, you just talked about outsourcing. So outsourcing is ultimately, what is outsourcing?
So outsourcing is having someone outside of your office doing the work that they don't have to physically touch in your business. So we could do the administrative part of the business. We can answer calls. We can do lead generation, which is getting business into your business. We can set up all your automation.
Gotcha. Okay, so then you used another terminology that's very important in the business community that they don't know about either. It's funny. Profitability, right? So you just said they'll save, a certain margin of, being able to make more of a profit. So what does that look like? So in my head, me breaking it down is, okay, I know it's cheaper in different aspects, so that makes you bring more money home. But I want you to explain to them, how does that make it more profitable?
It's more affordable. Right? Not cheaper. It's more affordable, because you're getting the same. When I talk about cheaper, to me, cheapness devalue what you
Well, I'm not going to even say that. Like, it can be cheaper in some instances, but go ahead.
Yeah, I always use the word affordable.
Yeah, okay,
because you invest in your business. So if you think about having to hire a project manager to come into your business, you may have to pay this person like, $120,000 a year. But if you hire us to do your outsourcing, you can even cut it down to $75,000 a year. So you're talking about another $45,000 that you're saving back in your pocket, and you're getting the same value, the same amount of things done.
I love it.
Yes.
So tell me this, the $1 million question. So I'm a business, and I'm saying, I'm listening to her, and I really need that. So what would be the starting budget for those that are watching and saying, okay, I need to get with her, and I need to put these systems in place so that I can scale and grow my business?
Well, the first thing I have to do is have a conversation with them to see where they are in their business, because everyone will not need the same things, right? Because some people may already have some type of system in place, so they will not need the same thing that a person who doesn't have everything in place. So it varies. So first I would have to have a conversation with them, see where they are, see what their business is about, and what exactly do they need. Because sometimes they might even already have team that we don't have to do everything. We can now show them, like, okay, we can show your team what to do.
Gotcha. So you talked about SOPs, you talked about, outsourcing different things. We've talked about team building. Let's talk about the importance of balance. I think that's the most important thing when we talk to every guest. Trying to hear from different perspective of how do you balance running, especially when we talk to 7-figure and higher earners, because that's a whole nother level of doing business. So how do you balance, family and running such a high volume revenue generating business?
Wow. Oh, I had to learn how to balance, because over the years I was the one who was doing everything in my business. I was the one who was working in my business and on my business at the same time. And this is the reason why I can talk to my client on that level, because I've been there. This is not something that I read that somebody else said, right? This is a life that I lived, and now I got to the point where now I can do the things I want to do. So I had to learn to delegate. I had to learn to put people and processes in place where I can take time off to do what I want to do. For me, I always said, I'll know when I make it in life when I don't have to ask someone for time off. And I'm there now where I don't have to ask anyone for time off. And it's not because I have money, but it's because I set up people and processes in place that I don't have to. So that's what I'll tell anyone, that always think about the long term when you start your business, not just now. What do I want it to be 5 years from now? What do I want it to be 10 years from now? Because we're in a stage now where we get some bombarded as CEO from all angles. We have to deal with our business. We have teams. We have to listen to our teams. We have to be available for them. We're therapists for them. We're for our family. So we're everything. We're everybody. And honestly, one of the things that really helped me with my life balance outside of my husband and my kids, I'm a therapist because I believe in mental health, so I have a therapist, is my relationship that I have with God.
Come on now.
Yes.
Every morning I have my devotion, I take time, and I take time to spend with God. And some days when I get so overwhelmed and so fluttered, I take my time and I pray and I just connect with God, because I know for sure that if it was not for Him, I would not be here. I would not be where I am. So that's what keeps me grounded. That's my balance right there.
Yeah, you said something.
That's my balance. That's my balance right there.
So what do you think the future, when it comes to community health, the community health industry, what do you think the future looks like? And also, what role, as RedRose VA staffing, what role do you think you guys will play in the future?
Ooh, that light down.
Yeah, wow. What I'm hoping for is for us to continue as Mothers Helping Hands to continue to make an impact in the maternal and maternal mortality rate. Because right now, Georgia is among the highest, right? And I'm passionate about it. I love what I do, and I always identify myself as a postpartum doula, right? It doesn't matter what other business I have. I always identify myself because that's where I start, and I'm passionate about that. And I want to continue to make an impact, but we have to face the elephant in the room, which is the birth workers are not getting paid what they deserve to continue to carry on this work. So my goal is to use RedRose to help the birth workers to continue to make a sustainable living. And the only way you're going to be able to do that, you have to have a team. You have to be able to grow your business, scale your business. But you don't have to do it, it doesn't have to come at a cost where you get stuck because you can't afford it. But if you can work with a company like us, who we can provide virtual help and you can outsource, you can do it. It's doable. But you have to change your mindset. You have to change your mindset.
Yeah, you talked about some good stuff today, girl.
You have to change your mindset.
So we need you to tell our viewers, our audience, if they're looking, especially doula maternal people, if they're looking for your services, your mentorship, for you to train their staff, how can they find you?
Well, so if you are a new and expectant parent and you're looking for a postpartum doula, someone who can come in and assist you, educate you, give you resources, that part of the business is Mothers Helping Hands Atlanta. Or if you are looking for someone like me to come in and train you to grow and scale your business, is Rosalee Henry, the 7-Figure Doula Whisperer. And my number is 678-898-4005. So 678-898-4005.
Okay, girl.
We just thank you for coming to the corner, giving those nuggets, especially, in recap, especially, teaching people, because like we just talked about, people don't even know the language. They don't know what a doula is.
Yes.
Like I just talked with a friend that her daughter is 23 years old and she just became a doula, and everybody's like, what is a doula? So just giving the information where people can understand about being a doula, having SOPs, having a virtual assistant. Some people don't even know what a virtual assistant is. So in recap, these are tools that, like we said, we're giving you the business tea. So these are tools that people need when they talk about scaling and growing and wanting to be a 7-figure owner, is having these type of tools so that you can take some of the stress off of, like you said,
all the hats.
Right. Take some of the stress off of having to actually work in your business so that you can work on your business. Because we need to start doing more of that.
Absolutely.
And so, because we be over here, we be sometimes, we be having the Musa.
And that's the thing, you're making a 7-figure business. When you calculate your hourly rate, right? Hopefully we're paying ourselves enough, right? Like $250 an hour. Why are we stuck in the office doing something that you could pay me $15 an hour to do?
Right. Is that thing.
Well,
y'all, we could talk all day, but let me tell y'all what I need y'all to do. I need y'all to follow Gwen Business Corner on all social media platforms. Make sure you follow Expert Tax Service Pay. It's spelled with an S, not an E. I can tell y'all how you should not name your business like that. Been there, done that. But also, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get those subscribers up. Subscribe. Don't just watch. Subscribe. Andy, tell them how to follow you.
You can find me at all social media outlets at The Real Deonta B. And we also want to let you guys know that we have our Christmas party coming up, and we want you to give. We want you to give.
So we do it every year. This is our 16th year anniversary, doing a toy giveaway. We give 1,000 toys in our hometown. And we might do it in Atlanta. We do it in Atlanta in our hometown. But we have a nonprofit organization, Reach for Your Dreams, Inc. We are taking donations. We're having a fundraiser. It's called Give 16 because we've been doing it for 16 years. So give $16. You want to give more, give more. If you can't give that much, then give what you can give. We're trying to help families for the holidays. You can donate monetary-wise at Cash App R4YD or PayPal.me/Reach for Your Dreams Inc. We are an approved 501c3 approved through the IRS, so make sure you donate. Our event is December the 15th in Columbus, Georgia. And I guess that's it, boo.
Yes, and we just want you guys to keep kicking the door in, getting this business tea. So going into these next coming years, we want to see some more billionaires and trillionaires around here, because we all know us as Black entrepreneurs, we are on it right now. So stay tuned, keep it locked. This is Gwen's Business Corner with Deonta B. We'll see you next time. Peace.